Hey guys, hopefully you watched last week's video about why I purchased this wood chipper. This week I want to talk about some issues about the wood chipper, and right after that I'm going to get into a little bit of a demo to show you what I'm going to be using the chipper for. Alright guys, before I start on the issues themselves, I just want to make a note that no matter what company you deal with, there's always going to be some issues. There's no such thing as a perfect company or everything's going to go 100% all the time. It's basically how they respond about the issues that you report back to them. And that's a very important thing. And in this case, we'll talk a little bit about that after I cover the issues. So the very first issue that I had was that when this unit was to be delivered, I was supposed to get a phone call to book an appointment for the curbside delivery. That was my first issue. The next issue is that the owner's or the operator's manual was supposed to come with the unit, and it was supposed to be inside this tube down here. You can see the tube. That there was no operator's manual, and in the operator's manual obviously tells you how to operate this thing and also how to assemble it. The next thing that was missing was a couple of washers, and it would be on the inside over here. Right here there was these two washers were missing. These are for holding the infeed chute skirt. So that was the third issue. The next issue that I had, and one thing I want to make note of, these are not real serious die-hard issues, but they're just issues that, you know, you're trying to inform the company about to make everything in my life better and also in their life better. The next thing is on the drive shaft here, there's two halves. You got the tractor side, and then on the other side you've got the PTO shaft that goes to the chipper. Now they put this yellow label here on the same piece or the same half of the shaft that is for the PTO shear bolts. That yellow sticker should have been on the other side, on the other half of the PTO shaft. And the final issue, it's down below, and hopefully we can get in here to see it. But if you look down in here below, there's a sticker beside the serial number tag. And if you notice on it, hopefully you can see it, it says TFG55 gas power wood chipper. Now, as you know, this is not a gas powered wood chipper. This is a PTO wood chipper. So that label is incorrect. So anyways, what I had done is I got onto the Woodland Mills website and I filled out a tech form with and I put some information, and I included some pictures of everything, and I fired it off. About an hour or so later, I got a phone call from Woodland Mills, and all 5 of those issues were resolved over the telephone in a quick, professional, and very courteous manner. And that's partly why I purchased from Woodland Mills, second to none in support. And as I mentioned, you know, some of these things are out of their control in the sense that all this stuff gets on a production line. They do check it. Every once in a while somebody might have a bad day and make a mistake. I make mistakes, you make mistakes. So there's no one to blame if we can rectify the problem, and that the company, wherever you purchase it from, supports it, the after sale, which is very important. They just don't sell you something and then walk away, clean their hands, and that's it. So very impressed with the Woodland Mills support. Very happy. All 5 issues are resolved. So let's move on to the next section of this video, and that's doing a demo. Before I get started in the demo, I wanted to show you what I'm going to be chipping. And if you watched last week's video, you're going to understand the stuff I'm going to show you here and why I purchased this particular wood chipper. So I'm going to be chipping something really small and scraggly like this. I'm going to show you all the different material that I'm planning to use for this wood chipper. I'm going to be using green stuff like this, fairly leafy. You can see here there's going to be lots of leafy stuff that I plan to chip, and it's going to be long like this, a lot of it. And then I'm going to have stuff that's really curved. A lot of branches that I'm going to be chipping are going to have like a boomerang in it. And you can see here how much of a curve that's in there. Hopefully you can see that on camera. Also, what I'm going to be chipping is stuff from this size here, which is a 2-inch piece. And I'm going to show you over here. We've got stuff that's 3 inches. We're going to go into a 4-inch piece. That's about the maximum I want to chip with this wood chipper. Anything bigger than this to me is going to be firewood. And then we always get these pieces here. And you can see here this has got a big Y in it, and how wide that is. Now, one thing to note, whenever you have a wood chipper, it doesn't matter if it's a PTO hydraulic chipper, a gas chipper, a hydrostatic chipper, it doesn't matter the type of a chipper it is, or a self-feeding one, you have to prepare your material for, or to accommodate your wood chipper. You can't shove stuff in there and just grab anything. It's just not going to work. It's going to jam, or it's just not going to go through. It doesn't matter whether you have a hydraulic with the in-feed roller. The in-feed roller is definitely an advantage. It helps to pull the material in better, but you still have to prepare your material before you stick it into the wood chipper. So anyways, guys, enough talk. Let's get started. Well, alright guys, that's the demo of this wood chipper. If you watched my last week's video, you'll notice that I was in an area of pine and an area of cedar trees, so that's the type of material I'll be chipping, and that's basically what I showed you there. That's basically what I'm walking into. It pulled down that 4-inch piece and put it right through like it wasn't even there. So very happy with the chipper so far. For who I'm using it, this is going to be more than ample. I'm very happy with my purchase. Anyways guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Jellin Outdoors.